The phone wars are over as both Apple and Google control the platform behind almost every smartphone sold today. Now, tech companies are gearing up to fight for control of the biggest screen in the house. Part 1. Owning the remote. In the days before cable and the remote control, broadcast companies pretty much dictated what most people watched on TV.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Then cable companies made TV smarter by introducing cable boxes, remote control, diversifying the content that people could watch, and rolling out new features like video on demand to millions of subscribers.
Don't let pay TV be the monster in your living room. Pay TV and cable TV companies are seeking the right to charge you for the very programs you now get free.
Over time, Comcast became so powerful that in 2004 they almost bought out Disney. Instead, a couple years ago, Comcast completed its acquisition of NBC Universal to become the largest integrated media company in the world.
Comcast and NBC Universal, the future of media and entertainment.
And for a lot of people out there, the television occupies most of their free time. On average, Americans watch about 4 hours of television a day. Now, the same year that Comcast acquired NBC Universal, the pay TV industry as a whole lost 167,000 subscribers. It was during that same summer that I uploaded the second episode of TV Wars, highlighting Google's ChromeCast, a cheap and innovative device that upsets the monopoly broadcast and cable companies have over televisions around the world. Executives in the television industry are reluctant to give tech companies more influence, especially after watching the music industry fall to its knees as new platforms have won the hearts, minds, and wallets of digital consumers like us. TV and cable executives want to keep the two worlds separate, divide and conquer. They want the things we watch on our TVs to be different from the things we watch on tablets, smartphones, and computers. But is there really a difference between the big screen in the living room and the small screens in our pockets? Google is breaking down the barriers with the help of a dongle. Let's break it down. The success of the ChromeCast highlighted the huge amount of demand for over-the-top content. That is, media that bypasses the cable box and streams over the public internet. Google believes that mobile will take over the remote control. Fast forward to today, with CES now over, we know that 2015 will be a pivotal year in the fight for the remote control and control of the TV's UI. Now, the heavyweight champion in internet services is, of course, Google. And at Google I/O, we learned about the company's latest weapon in the TV wars. We now have confirmation that Android TV will ship in the latest TVs from Sony, Sharp, and Philips this spring. So out of the box, these new TVs will sync up seamlessly with Google services, offer voice search, play Android games, and support Google Cast so people can stream content from their smartphones to the TV. Also, Sony, LG, and Denon announced support for Google Cast in speakers so that you can stream music and control it from your smartphone. So with all these efforts from Google, Samsung is definitely not going down without a fight. The company announced that every new 2015 Smart TV will be powered by its new operating system, Tizen. Now, since Samsung TVs make up 25% of the Smart TV market, this means that 2015 will be the largest launch of Samsung proprietary software in the company's history. It's definitely a test to see if the company can reduce its reliance on Google's services and software. Not to be outdone, future LG Smart TVs will be powered by a resurrected WebOS TV UI. The same WebOS that powered Palm's smartphones. I really liked Palm. And finally, Panasonic TV will be powered by a Firefox OS web browser. So at least on the software side, it looks like 2015 will be a battle between traditional TV companies versus Google. But what if you have an older smart TV, or you just bought a 2014 Samsung set? Unfortunately, Samsung's Tizen will not work on the millions of smart TVs in homes today. And sometimes it's these simple but fundamental barriers that lead to the most groundbreaking innovations. Part 2. The Intel Compute Stick. If I recall correctly, Intel has never sold a complete product directly to consumers. And the Compute Stick is definitely complete. Running a quad-core Atom processor, this HDMI stick has 802.11 and Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, and 32 gigabytes of storage. Basically, it's a fully functional PC in a small 4-inch package. The Linux version comes with 1 gigabyte of RAM, while the Windows version has 2 gigabytes for $60 more. On the left side, it has a micro USB port for power, the power button, and a full-size USB port for peripherals. On the right side, it has a micro SD slot. It's really the perfect device if you don't need a full-fledged HTPC but want more functionality than the typical streaming boxes that are out there today. Intel outlines several use cases. Businesses can install thin clients for plug-and-play functionality in conference rooms or use them to run embedded kiosks. But for most of us, all we need is a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse to turn the living room TV into a fully functional TV that's good enough to do lightweight productivity tasks, social media, web browsing, and of course stream movies. Now, like the ChromeCast, it does need to be powered externally either through a powered USB port or a power adapter. So the compute stick is really a fantastic idea, and Intel has the expertise to get the chip layout and thermal design just right. The big questions I have: how easy will the installation process be? What will the user experience be like? And how will the product design hold up over time? Personally, I'm really excited about this, and I see this as the perfect device for someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of money on an HTPC but wants more functionality than what's available on a Roku, Apple TV, or Chromecast. Another way to think of it, if the Chromecast is Google's way to invade the TV through mobile, the compute stick is Intel's way to turn the living room TV into a lightweight PC. On a related note, if you're thinking about buying a new TV in 2015, this will be a great year for innovation. 4K will go mainstream, and colors will be more realistic with new quantum dot technologies that expand the color gamut and saturation beyond anything that OLED and even the latest films that are mastered today can reproduce. Just remember, when buying a new TV, resolution, refresh rates, and colors will be the most important factors. With all the latest smart TVs and platforms coming from Google, Amazon, Apple, and Roku, I wouldn't worry too much about the software and hardware that is powering the smart inside these TVs. So I see the internet continuing to swallow more and more of the screens around the house, but when thinking of the TV, content is king. So the winner of the TV wars will be the platform that is open enough to encourage content owners to play ball, yet secure and stable enough to create a smooth user experience. And there is one thing we know for sure. This will be an exciting battle for us to watch. So thank you guys for watching this episode. It was really unexpected. I wanted to do a video about Intel's new compute stick because personally I'm thinking about building a home theater PC, but when this came out, it looks like a pretty good alternative if it can do all the basic things that I wanted to do. I got all your feedback from the previous video about NVIDIA, so I'll start the research on the X1 chip and their GPUs. I want to do an overview of the company first to kind of see what their overall business strategies are, and then just break it down into product lines after that. And most of all, thank you for spending your time here on My Next Appliance, where we all continue to see how technology changes things.
Good boy. Say goodbye to Los Sanford. Peace out. Let's go.
You ready to go?